Waterworld. In 2500, sea level rises had swallowed every continent on Earth underwater. The remains of human civilization live on makeshift floating communities built out of scavenged materials known as atolls, having long forgotten about living on land. Rumours of a dry land still exist, but it is considered a myth by most. Cut to Mariner aboard his trimaran, Mariner peeing into a bottle, pouring the fluid into a homemade chemistry set, cranking a handle to process it, and then drinking it. The Mariner, a lone drifter, arrives at an atoll on his trimaran to trade dirt, a rare commodity, for supplies. He trades it for cash, spends some of it at the bar, and meets Helen, the bartender. When the locals see that the Mariner is a mutant with gills and webbed feet, several accost him and he kills one in self-defense. As a result, the Mariner is sentenced to be drowned in a tank of organic sludge. While the Mariner is trapped in the tank, the atoll is attacked by the Smokers, a formidable pirate gang that has been systematically raiding and destroying atolls. The Smokers' attack on the atoll is a virtuoso action sequence, including stunts where guys on jet skis speed up a ramp and fly over the atoll walls, landing in the lagoon inside. Helen, a strong-willed atoll resident, Helen frees the Mariner on the condition he takes them, Helen, and a young girl named Enola, with him. The Mariner skillfully fights his way out, damaging the Smokers' forces and causing an explosion that blinds its leader, Deacon, in one eye. The Mariner, Helen, and Enola board the trimaran and escape. After a brief skirmish with the Smokers' scout seaplane, the trio encounters an unstable drifter whom the Mariner kills after a trade gone wrong, and a mutated shark the Mariner kills for food. Despite his initial reluctance and gruff attitude, the Mariner slowly warms up to his companions and has a bonding moment with Enola, teaching her to swim. After evading a trap set by the Smokers, the Mariner confronts Helen about their unusual persistence. She admits they are after Enola for the supposed erections to dry land tattooed on her back, and demands to know where the Mariner collected his dirt. In a jury-rigged diving bell, he shows her the underwater remains of Denver, Colorado, and the soil on the ocean's floor, crushing her belief in dry land. When they surface, they find that the Smokers have caught up. The Smokers capture Enola and try to kill Helen and the Mariner before the two dive underwater. The Smokers set the trimaran on fire and leave. Sorting through the wreckage of his boat, the Mariner sees National Geographic magazines and compares their images to Enola's doodles, realizing she was drawing dryland objects. Gregor, having spotted the smoke from his dirigible, finds Helen and the Mariner and takes them to a new makeshift atoll. The Mariner takes a captured Smoker's jet ski to chase down the Smoker's base of operations, the remains of the Exxon Valdez, where they manage to manufacture fuel, ammunition, and cigarettes. Deacon's advisors struggle to decipher the tattoo. To keep his followers' minds off their dwindling resources, he bluffs that he has decoded the map on Enola's back and orders them back to their stations to row. The Mariner infiltrates the Des, confronts the Deacon, threatening to ignite the oil reserves in the hold unless Enola is returned. The Deacon calls the Mariner's bluff, knowing that it would destroy the ship, but to his shock, the Mariner drops a flare into the oil reservoir. The ship is engulfed in flames and begins to sink. The Mariner rescues Enola, escaping via a rope from Gregor's balloon with Helen and the atoll enforcer aboard. The Deacon fires on the balloon, shaking Enola into the ocean. As the Deacon and some of his men converge on her, the Mariner makes an impromptu bungee jump from the balloon to grab Enola before the Deacon and his men collide on their jet skis, inducing an explosion, which kills the three. Gregor later identifies Enola's tattoo as coordinates with reversed directions. Following the map, the balloon party discover dry land covered with vegetation and wildlife. They also find a hut with the remains of Enola's parents. The Mariner, feeling that he does not belong on dry land, takes an old wooden catamaran from the island and departs, as Helen and Enola bid him farewell.